I was able to flip it for $115 a couple of days ago, and that left us with a sweet profit of $67. What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to show you a number of seasonal online book arbitrage flips, everything from Halloween to Christmas, the Jewish holiday, even some high school textbooks and so on. But the goal here is that it is possible for you to do this at home, not have to go out to the thrift store and drive around and spend money on gas, get nothing, come back and waste a whole bunch of time. It's possible just to utilize a software called Keepa to buy books that are undervalued and then resell them on Amazon. So let's dive into the screen. Let me show you what's sold in the last week and let's do it. All right, so the first book is Sound the Shofar, and I'm actually going to show you here the eBay listing. So you can see this is where I purchased it from. I bought actually 3 of these books for $12.72. Not really sure what's going on with Amazon with the image of the book here not showing up properly. It's just, but in any case, I bought this book for $4.24 and was able to flip it for $24.97. So basically, this is a Jewish holiday. You can see this is going to be celebrated this year, September 24th to September 25th. So I mean, I've already sold the 3 copies that I bought, which is awesome. I sold them all for $24.97, and I can show you that. I can scroll down here and click the orders tab under Seller Central, under Seller Ramp, and you can actually see there we have it. 3 sales, $24.97 3 times, and in Seller Ramp, buy cost was $4.24. Sold each one for $24.97. So we made a $9 profit and a 216% ROI on those 3 books. And honestly, we're still 14 days away from when the actual holiday is. And obviously people who buy it Prime probably have to buy it a little bit before the holiday. But the point is, that was a book that kind of flew off the shelf. I bought it for super cheap on eBay. That's something that you could track next year. And actually, let me show you how you could do that to set yourself up. So for the next year, when you want to get notified about this book, you could just set a feature, something called a keep alert. You can go up here to the track product feature, and you could set up an alert for, you would probably be on the basic mode to start here, but you could just say, hey, whatever this book is, $5 or less, track it for the next 10 years, 3 years, whatever it is you want. You can go ahead and start tracking that. And basically you would get an email notification, or you can get even a Telegram message or a web push notification on Chrome when that happens. Now, the good news about seasonal book arbitrage is that you don't necessarily need to buy the book at any one time. You can literally buy it anytime in the off season when no one wants it. For example, this book you could have bought for basically under $5 between January all the way up until July. Because if we expand the historical selling data here on Keepa, one thing you'll notice is that this used offer count always creeps up or goes up in the off season when people don't want it, obviously. And then when the season comes around, obviously the offer count starts dipping down. And what you notice is, specifically over the last 3 years, the used price is definitely inflated in price during that time, which just means that it's been selling for way more than what you could have bought it for in the future. All right, the next book is actually super awesome. This is The Old Witch. It's a Halloween book. This came out in 1972. It's a very niche old book. This is definitely seasonal, although it's not something that generally gets super cheap on Amazon. You can see that basically this is a book that always holds value, generally above 40 or 50 bucks. Now, I was specifically fortunate to find it on eBay for $28.92. So there's another tip for you. Try to find the books in eBay if you can. But I'm going to scroll down here to the orders page under Seller Amp, and you can see that it just sold for $81.39 a day ago. And guys, this is a Halloween book. I mean, today is September 10th. Actually, when it sold, September 8th, September, October. So I guess we're a month and a half away from Halloween, but people are already buying Halloween books. And that's kind of the thing that's funny, is that even with some of the other books that I'll show you, these seasonal books, a lot of people think we have to wait till the end, right at the end of the season to sell. But what I'm finding is a lot of the books that I'm buying are selling well before the season even starts. And I would say I'm having more conservative selling price targets, but it just is awesome to see that they're flying off the shelf literally a month or 2 months or even 3 months, even 4 months for Christmas. It's kind of just insane. So in any case, sold this for $81.39. And we put the buy cost and the sales price into Seller App. You can see we bought it for $28.92. We sold it for $81 and made a $32 profit on this book. Now, this is something that'd be a little bit more difficult for you to find. You probably would. I mean, you could still track this book for sure. You can see back in 2018 and 2019, there were periods of time where this got super cheap. So actually, this would be a great product to track. I would say, kind of what this book looks like it has sold up to is maybe up to $80, $100. That's where we see sales range drop, specifically in the last season here for Halloween. And again, I sold mine for $82, which is absolutely amazing. So I would say for me personally, I'm going to track this. If it ever gets below 25 bucks with shipping included over the next decade, I'm just going to pick it up. It doesn't even matter when it is, because this is a book that holds value. And that's a book specifically that we would need to pick up pretty fast. All right, the next book we're going to look at is also another Halloween book. This is called The Halloween House. This came out in 1997, so this book is only 3 years younger than I am. So this is a pretty old book in my opinion. I bought this for $532. Excuse me, I bought this for $584. You can see that that's the price over here on eBay. And I'm gonna scroll down here to Seller Amp, and we're gonna look at the sales price. Looks like this sold for a total of $25.43. And that left us with a profit of $7.65 and 130% ROI. And again, guys, this is a Halloween book that should be selling literally a month from now. But if we scroll down here to the Keeper chart, this is a book, honestly, that I kind of took a little bit of a chance on, only because, you notice that during the selling season, October, like the price doesn't really inflate too much. I mean, I guess it kind of does. If we look at the year before, you can see that November 1st, late October, the price was right around $8, but then afterwards, inflated in price, but we didn't really see sales rank drop. So this is one that I thought was, okay, maybe it's a little bit interesting. The year before, by October 16th, basically the used offer count, I guess it got down to 8 and the lowest used price was 46. But what I liked about these listings was that, in the past, I had seen sales rank drops for as high as 30 or 40, and I do see a lot of movement in the used offer count. And so kind of that's one of the things I'm really looking for with the seasonal books, is making sure that in the season when this thing would sell, the used offer count is really taking a nosedive, which is the case in this one. So this is a book that I would say the data doesn't look too great for, so I wouldn't go too deep on it. I only bought one copy, and it sold, a month and a half before Halloween. You can actually see that the used offer count is starting to dip down, so people are starting to buy this, and it is possible that I probably could have, potentially sold it for more. But hey, I'm happy to never have touched this book, to have sent it to a prep center, made 130% ROI, make $7.65. So this is a book that I know I'll be, looking to pick up probably just one copy again next year. But I don't see why it wouldn't sell again. It sold. Well, now you can actually see the buy box is $25, which is right around what I sold it at, and I bet you that person's gonna sell it as well. All right, the next book is actually a high school teaching book. I bought this for $20.87, and I bought that on August 6th, so actually just barely about a month ago. And one thing that you'll see over this last year is that there's only been a few sales rank drops. You can see the price actually dropped from $200 after seeing a sales rank drop, meaning someone probably bought it for $199, and it dropped down to $20. There was a new seller on the listing. I didn't actually pick my copy up then. I picked it up here for right around $20, but this is a book when I expanded the data over the last 2,000 days. It shows a little bit of seasonality, but more importantly, its used price, the lowest used price, has always been very high. And specifically with these teacher edition volume sets, like those tend to do really well for me personally. I've bought tons of them. Not tons of them, but I bought quite a few of them, and they've all done really well for me. And yeah, I knew that picking up a copy for $20.87 is really quite cheap in the grand scheme of, what you can pick books up for on Amazon. So again, let's scroll down here to Seller and look at orders. I was able to flip it for $115 a couple of days ago, and that left us with a sweet profit of $67. Our next book here is also going to be a high school textbook. So this is Student Resource Manual. I bought this on May 1st. I bought it a few months before the season, and I bought basically 3 copies for $8.99. Here are my 3 orders right here, all on May 1st. And if we scroll down here to the Keeper chart, one thing that you'll notice is that this book goes wild. Basically every single year, the used price of this book just skyrockets during the high school textbook season. You can see how the sales rank of this book improves dramatically during that time as well. And so again, what we're looking for is to see that the used offer count, which is denoted by the black line in the bottom graph, we want to see that go down as close to 0 as possible. You can actually see in 2022, it wasn't nearly as good as it was in 2021. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't buy more than 3 copies, even though this has a really good sales rate. So I bought 3 copies. Basically, you can see the price, even at the beginning of the season, was still right around $5 or $6, but has inflated up to about 40 and was able to get some good sales. Let's go and look at the orders page. And you can see that, 5 days ago, 3 weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago, sold them for $35, $42, and $42. So the most recent sell here would have been a profit of $16.92 for 188% ROI. And again, guys, this is a book that I never had to touch. Literally just sent it right to a prep center. The prep center sent it to an Amazon FBA warehouse, and then Amazon gave me a paycheck and we made some money. All right, the last book that we're going to look at is actually a Christmas book. This is a book that came out in 2005. We bought this book for super cheap on eBay. You can see the purchase price of $3.98. You can also see this Hanukkah book that I bought for $7.96. A little bit more on that later, but we bought this for $3.98. We scroll down to the Keeper chart. Again, what we're looking at over the last 2,700 days is that the used offer count here always decreases significantly when it's Christmas. Almost always gets down to 5 or fewer. And you can also see that the used prices always get quite high come December. And so the previous year, you can see we have multiple sales rank drops when this book is over 20, even over 29. So, I sent mine in. We scroll down here to seller app and look at orders. You can actually see mine sold for $20.29. Again, this sold September 3rd. Guys, this is a Christmas book. This book sold on September 3rd. I don't know. I mean, this is a book that I thought I would have to wait till December to sell it for 20. Again, I like to be a little bit more conservative on my asking price just so I can sell them. But this is a book I probably get held out for more, especially because we saw multiple sales range drops in the past above 30. But in any case, I'm happy to take the money. Again, this is a book I never had to touch. It went right to our prep center. We made a $5 profit and 129% ROI. Now, remember I told you about this Hanukkah book. We bought actually 2 copies of this for $7.96. So the individual buy cost for each of those was $3.98. And let's look at this Kiva graph. When we scroll down and look at the last 4,500 days, we see a very similar pattern with this book as well. I'm actually going to get rid of the new prices as well so we can kind of see the used prices and how they inflate a little bit better. But again, at the used offer count here at the bottom, we see there's this ebb and flow pattern. And we can also see that the used price pretty much every single year, with the exception of 2021, did really well. You can see this last year was insane. I mean, starting in October, this book got up to $35. Multiple sales range drops. And yeah, let's actually look at the orders page here again. And you can see that I sold both of these books for $36. I sold one on June 8th and one on July 18th. So this is a Hanukkah book, a book that literally should not be selling at all and should be selling in December. And we sold both copies for $36. We put in the sales price here on selling. We made an $18.76 profit. 470% ROI. Again, we didn't touch either of those books. They went right to a prep center, and the prep center sent them to Amazon. Amazon then sold for us. We got a paycheck. So, I really hope this video kind of shows you the possibilities of seasonal online book arbitrage. Yeah, if you're interested in kind of this Amazon to Amazon flip game, if you're interested in seasonal online book arbitrage, that specifically seasonal online book arbitrage, make sure you check out these 2 videos with Victor Gallegos. He's a master of online book arbitrage and how to identify books like that. Had 2 podcast interviews with him. A lot of people really liked it. I got a lot of value from it. I'm now buying books like this because of him. So make sure you check out that video. Last announcement before I leave is I am also launching an Amazon to Amazon course. It's going to be amazing. There's literally going to be so many videos that I'm filming them right now. And I'm telling you what, the value in it is going to be absolutely insane. So if you're interested in the Amazon to Amazon course that I'm putting together, then make sure you stick around. I'm planning for it to launch on September 30th. So I hope all goes well, but I'm super excited for that. Otherwise, you guys can get in the free Discord, link down below. I have a newsletter. You can get that for free. You want some free sourcing methods that I don't share on YouTube, you can get that down there in the description for free. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.